Unit 9 Review, Question 6. Determine the number of cubic centimeters that would fill up the box below. Okay. So we want to visualize, we're not going to use any formulas yet. If we were to fill this up, let me try to get a good scaling, with little cubes, where each side of the cube was 1 centimeter, how many cubes would it take to fill up this box? Okay. So I'm going to start looking across here. This is 8 centimeters, and I want it to be broken into 1 centimeter cubes. So I'm going to break this in half, and then break these in half, and then break these in half. Okay, and I'm noticing this is not really to scale. Okay, but imagine that these are cubes. Okay, and looking at just this first row, okay, notice we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cubes. So 8 cubic centimeters in first row. Okay, well, how many rows would there be? Okay, well, it's going back 4. That's not quite to scale either. So you'll have to really visualize and use your imagination. Okay, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4 rows going back. Okay, so that means we have 4 rows of 8 cubic centimeters. Okay, and you could think of adding them or repeated addition or multiplication. So we have 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8, or 4 copies of 8, which is 32 cubic centimeters. Let's look at the next one. Determine what units would be appropriate to measure the following volumes. So the volume of water in a pool. So when I think of a pool, it's usually some amount of feet deep. Okay, and if you think of the sides, it would also be feet. We could use yards if we wanted to, but I think feet would be appropriate as well. Miles would definitely be too big. Okay, so we'll say cubic feet. And I agree that cubic yards would also be okay. In the metric unit, so what's about the size of feet? Well, we would use meters. So we'd use cubic meters to fill up a pool. The volume of water in a coffee mug. So if you think about a coffee mug, okay, would you measure the bottom in inches or feet or miles? Okay, and we'd probably go with inches. So I would measure how much it could be filled up by in cubic inches. Okay. In terms of the metric system, we'd have to think of millimeters or centimeters. Remember, millimeters, width of a dime, that would be too small. So centimeters would be about the width of your pinky nail, so that would be a good measure. So we'll use cubic centimeters. Okay. The volume of water in an eyedropper, okay, so that would be a small amount. Okay. In terms of U.S. customary, we'd use cubic inches. That's the smallest one we have on here, and it might be a fraction of a cubic inch. Okay. We also have things like teaspoons that we can use, but we're not talking about those yet. And in metric, I'd definitely go with the smaller one and go with cubic millimeters.